We're live again. UFC 229 right around the corner on Saturday. Uh, Very excited. The return, Conor McGregor, Khabib, Khabib, Nurmagomedov. Um, what people call the biggest fight in UFC history. We will see. Uh, it's what I'm shooting for. Uh, we'll be watching. We will be on the couch watching the fight, no matter how late it is. I don't care if every fight goes to a decision. We will stay awake to watch that fight at the end of the night. Um, Great set of fights to go through the night. I've already set all my predictions on Twitter and things like that, so I won't go all throughout the card, but I'm gonna go all through the main card, and then the headline, or I guess what they said headline, what it says right now, as right now, is gonna headline the prelim. So we'll start from the bottom. Headlining the prelims, from what we can see now on the UFC website, is Sergio Pettis versus Jesse Formiga. And Formiga coming off a bunch of uh, straight wins, climbing his way in the ranks. Sergio Pettis' brothers fighting later on in the night. And Anthony Pettis has, his older brother, Anthony Pettis, has came out saying that he doesn't like fighting on the same card as, excuse me, he doesn't like fighting on the same card as his younger brother. And many people speculate because that is because a time where they fought on the same card, Sergio got beat. He thinks that he might have thought that it messed with how he went about the fight, yada yada, or however he thinks that went. So he don't like fighting on the same card. Either way, here we are. Sergio Pettis fighting on that same card. I think that he's fighting for a little bit more than just a win in the win column. Uh, just like Formiga, he's one step away. Very slim division. Big moment for Sergio. I think Sergio comes out with maybe a split decision, maybe even a unanimous decision win over Formiga. Um, so I'll give you that one there. And I was just talking to a guy on Twitter about this one, Michelle Waterson versus Felice Herrig. And, I like Herrig. She's a big, uh, great fighter. You know what I'm saying? She's a good stand up fighter, an exciting fighter that people like to see. Pretty much good everywhere you go with it, but she's a great kickboxer. And Michelle Waterson is great at karate. And she's great at those Leona Machida kicks, and those are dangerous, man. Those are real dangerous, especially with a person that likes to throw primarily kicks, because it's gonna be if it's gonna be a kicking war, you got to think Herrig with the kickboxing background would immediately go for the leg kicks, make Warson lighten up on her, or I guess kind of sink back more on her karate kicks, but uh, I'm gonna go with Waterson again. Same reason I'm gonna pick Pettis, just a big situation. Uh, you weren't really where you wanted to be in the division. A couple things didn't go your way. Same thing with Hooray, she just lost, but then she won again. Um, they're both kind of not where they want to be at. I see that one being the toughest pick out of, not the toughest, the second toughest. Okay, the second. I put it in front of Ferguson and Pettis, but the second toughest to make on the that I'm gonna make for you right now. Excuse me. Uh, so I think that's gonna be a great fight regardless of what happens. But the next fight on the card would be Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkov, who Derek Lewis is known to gas out quickly. Volkov not. Check one for Volkov. Uh, Derek Lewis is a big time striker, puncher. Volkov is a volume puncher. So I guess fight ends shortly. Check the Lewis. Fight goes long ways. Check the Volkov so far. Um, let's think of some more things about him. Volkov's like 6'7" or so. So way longer, way can keep him at distance more. My pick is just going to Volkov. Second round knockout. He's gonna. They're gonna exchange a lot in the first round. Derek Lewis. Um, maybe he lands a little bit, maybe he doesn't, but Volkov is able to get him to the second round. He's a little bit tired, and he starts wearing him down big time midway through the second round. I think it ends somewhere towards the end of the second round by knockout for Alexander Volkov. Uh, Third to last fight of the night is going to be OSP, Owen St. Preux, versus Dominic Reyes, who by far has proven himself in the light heavyweight division. I'm going to pull some facts about Reyes because I was very impressed with him. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, that's what I was so impressed with. He beat somebody that I'm very high on, Jared Kinnear, who's a knockout artist. I'm very high on him. I think he's going to be great one day. Just wasn't that time he got knocked out, and I think that was a little while ago. No, I'm back in May. I'm sorry. Shit. He is 9-0 with his last win coming to Kinnear. So I think he's got a good building. OSP's been around forever. Everybody knows what he's probably going to try to do here in this fight. Still going to give it to Reyes. Knockout first round. He's going to clip him, send his career into overdrive. A lot of these picks I'm going to be wrong on, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to be wrong on just based off of, it doesn't always work like that, man. You don't always, it's not always a cool thing that happens. Sometimes it's like, no, like the veteran who's been here mad years, like everybody told you so, you won. Like shit. Like, but in my eyes, I want to see Reyes win. I think he can win. He has the tools to win. So, and that's how I'm going to pick it. The first round knockout, Dominic Reyes. Co-main event, Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis getting his shine somehow. Why Ferguson didn't wait a little bit, maybe take a Dustin Poirier or a Nate Diaz, who are at the top of the division as to where Anthony Pettis is behind all of them. Why he wouldn't wait for that, I don't know. Not sure. But he didn't, and he came back a month before to fight Anthony Pettis. So that now is probably going to shoot Anthony Pettis, depending on what happens here and then what happens in New York. If something happens in New York, this could put Anthony Pettis at a title shot next over Poirier, Diaz. Never know, man. You never know. I have to say, unfortunately for Anthony Pettis, I don't think he is going to defeat Tony Ferguson. Not only is Tony Ferguson one of my favorite fighters, I say that about probably two handfuls of fighters. I have about two handfuls, a little less, probably like a handful and a half. These guys are the guys in my left hand. They got room. There's only like two or three guys in there, but you know what I'm saying. Tony Ferguson is one of them. He's just a crazy bad motherfucker, man. And of course I'm gonna pick Tony Ferguson. I could never not pick Tony Ferguson. Habib, when Habib was gonna fight him, it was hard. And I think the fight got canceled too early, so I don't think I ever did pick a who I thought was gonna win there, So even though I do pick Habib when I see him fight, I still think I would have went with Ferguson. I think I will go with Ferguson if things plan out, and it is Khabib and Tony Ferguson, which brings me to my last fight, Khabib versus McGregor, the return of Conor McGregor after his year off doing fucks whatever. Year off of fighting, 2 years off from fucking MMA. Last fought Diaz the second time when he won, rode off into the sunset. Excuse me, to go fight Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match, something that's not even in a sport. Um, to go fight Mayweather in a boxing match. Um, took him so much time off, got himself into crazy amounts of trouble, throwing dollies at buses, jumping into octagons at different promotions for his friends, pushing referees, smacking officials, uh, the whole nine, the whole fucking, OJ Simpson. Yeah, he's going all out. He knows he's that guy of this time. So he's doing that. That's great. Don't buy it, man. I think he's fucked up off cocaine. Sorry about it. I know nobody likes to hear it, but he admits he's no angel. I could see it. He, I can't do the exact motion, but I'm gonna try just because it's kind of funny. I'm gonna try. This is what he was doing at the press conference right here. He's looking at Khabib. He's looking over. He's looking over. And he's getting all hyped up, man. It's a little weird, but you could tell there's just something going. His brain's going a little bit too fast for what's going on. The Everything around him's going a little bit slower than his brain, so you could see that he's kind of speeding it up a little bit. I got Khabib. Khabib. We see him kind of get taken down twice by small Chad Mendez, 145-pound Chad Mendez. Habib cuts weight to get to 155, serious weight, to where he's had trouble in the past making the weight. He seems to have got it under control as of late, but in the past he has had trouble making the 155. So we know he's way bigger than 155. Way better grappler by far than Chad Mendez. And people seem to still think that he won't be able to get Conor to the ground. And I agree that Conor may stuff a takedown or two. And if you can knock him down in between that time, then so be it. Maybe he ends the fight without Khabib landing a takedown. But if he doesn't end the fight early, he won't last 4, 5, 6 takedowns from Khabib. He's gonna get taken down one of those 6 times. Khabib will not go 0 for 7. My bet. He will not go 0 for 7 or worse. He will at least score 1 takedown per 6 tries. Every time, too. I won't even just say, like, he'll go, like, 1 for 20. Like, he'll go 1 for 6. And I'll be like, oh, he made it. And then he'll just fucking not get a takedown for the rest of the time. No. He will get 1 out of 6 takedowns every time. 1 for 6 or better. 2 for 12 or better. You know what I mean? My opinion, he's going to land them. If he gives him time, he's going to land the takedowns. And once he gets him on the ground, he's going to punish Conor. And then we've seen how that went with Nate Diaz. He's not going to take the punishment. He's going to be out. It's over. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to stick around. But whatever. Everybody argues. I got Khabib. I seen something in the press conference that made me want to pick Conor. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Some people don't have that kind of, like, they just wasn't brought up like that. So when Khabib acted a certain way at the press conference, maybe in his culture, he don't think he's acting like bitch. Like he don't think he's like backing down or like being weak in his culture, you know? Um, just how it looks in American culture or Irish culture or whatever. But either way, it's a different game, man. Some people just don't live by that kind of like that shit don't fuck with him, man. They'll be like, I'll act however I want in the press conference when we get in that fight. I land this takedown. I'm fucking your face up, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game. I got Khabib. I got him by fucking. I think he will. All right. I shouldn't make a pick. I should leave this as a pick 'em and tell everybody that I don't bet on the fight because it can literally go either way, man. So I don't want to be responsible for that shit, except for if you already heard me say Khabib and you bet on Khabib, Khabib wins, you win $1 million. Hit me up. All right, if you listen to this and I'm the reason you won $1 million, hit me up, please. But other than that, I'm not trying to be responsible for that shit. But it's what it is. Perfect circumstance in my eyes, just to be ultimate funny, and just because you want to laugh in Connor's face because of the whole boxing thing, man. Because he left and he stalled the UFC out for so long, and I'm a big UFC fan. I don't really watch boxing, so I mean, yeah, I watched the boxing fight, but it's like you could have fought so many UFC fights in those times, and he knows he would have, but he didn't. He fought one boxing fight, so it's kind of like to get back at him type thing, you know. In my eyes, I would want to see Habib beat him down, like maybe halfway through the first round, he finally gets him down and holds him down the whole first round, beats him up. Second round comes out, gets him down immediately, beats him up the whole middle to like 2.5 minutes into the second round. He's beating him up, kind of gives him his neck. He grabs his neck like he's gonna choke him, and then leaves the choke, starts beating him up more. And then, unless Connor gets like a TKO, or like he just like stops and the referee stops it, uh, maybe he like lasts that round, and third round comes out, it's the same thing. Gives him his neck again, and then he won't take it, and then just TKOs him. That would be like, I don't know, man. I look more into like the conspiracy theory stuff and like the mob ties that are into the Habib Connor shit, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about. But there's deep shit going on with those two. And Connor gets all hyped up talking about killing this, killing that. And, I don't know how they get down an island, but you shouldn't talk about shit that's real, bro. You know, over here in America where you're saying all that shit, if shit's real, they're gonna ask you about it, and you got problems, buddy. So just shut the fuck up. Quit saying that shit. Say you're not an angel. Be an angel. Don't say you're gonna kill nobody, because you're gonna have some problems, buddy. You might not have problems now, but that's where the problems will come at. So those are my picks. UFC 229, Return of Mcgregor. He loses in devastating fashion. Maybe he retires after. Maybe he says, fuck it, I got to come back and I got to avenge that. Rematch him. Nate Diaz, maybe. GSP, Anderson Silva. Who knows? He said he wants to fight Anderson Silva on the fucking Air Juana show. Yeah. In other news, MMA news, the UFC world was fucked in the ass when Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier was taken away from the main event in UFC New York, Madison Square Garden, 2:30 in November. We've talked about it plenty of times on these shows. Who will be the main event for 2:30. We've talked about it many times, and never once would we think Valentina Shevchenko and Ciara Eubanks for the vacant 125-pound women's belt. And you say, who is Ciara Eubanks? She has 5 fights in MMA. She is 3-2. One of those MMA fights she has is in the UFC. 3 of the ones that don't count towards her record. So if they did, she would be 6-2. But they don't, are in the Ultimate Fighter. She has all wins. She has losses to Aspen Ladd and a loss to Caitlin Chodigan or Chokadagan. Fuck, man, I can't say her name, but fuck it. She got lost to both of them, and uh, lads fighting this weekend, so you can't put her there. But Caitlin, I'll call her first name because I'm pretty sure I spelled that right. Caitlin, um, they'll never fight, and she already beat Eubanks, so why wouldn't she's in that weight class? She just won a couple months ago. I don't get it, man. And I really don't get it because Shevchenko was already scheduled to fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk a month later. A month later on the next pay per view card. Oh, a super fight. Shevchenko already beat Joanna in kickboxing. Okay. Shevchenko's a rightful champion. Joanna's a rightful champion. It's a great, skillful fight to see. But they take it away to make that Shevchenko fight another beginner. She just fought that Priscilla, uh, I can't remember her name, but she fought that Cochuero, Priscilla Cochuero, whatever her name is. Um, she had limited fights, and they let her fight there to be her first fight. It was insane, man. Insane that they're gonna let that fight go on just because they need a title fight, man. Where's TJ Dillashaw at? Fuck you at, man. They need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit would have been co-main in 231. That shit wasn't even going to be main event. She was going to be co-main to fucking Ortega and Holloway. So nobody was even going to be mad about it. Now they're going to main event over Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier. Nate Diaz, you know how fucking emotional Nate Diaz is, man. Now he's going to back out. There's going to be no fight. You're fucking fucked. Um, In a lighter news to that bullshit, this weekend I watched Bellator 206. This past weekend, sorry. Gegard Mousasi, middleweight champion, fought Rory McDonald, and he smashed Rory McDonald, the welterweight champion. But that was for the middleweight belt, so everything stayed the same. Gegard just got another win. Called out Rafael Lovato Jr. Rory's scheduled to fight John Fitch first round welterweight Grand Prix upcoming. So both go their separate ways. Just a quick fight for the fans. Great fight. Gegard just beat his ass. And the co-main was Rampage Jackson versus Vanderlei Silva, the fourth fight that they have, because Vanderlei beat Quentin twice in Pride. Quentin beat Vanderlei in devastating fashion in the UFC. So they ran it back. Rampage knocks him out again, so now they're 2 for 2. They both look to agree for a fifth fight after the fight goes off. I watched the whole card. It was a great card by Bellator. Great card that I love to see it. I love it. And after they don't got one for the Conor McGregor weekend. They didn't make that mistake. The next weekend on the 12th and the 13th they have a double header. 207 is in the Mohegan Sun, and it's going to be Ryan Bader versus Matt Mitrione, and then 208 is going to be in Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, New York. My original hometown, Long Island, New York. Nassau Coliseum's right down the road. I would have loved to be there, and that main event is going to be Fedor, the GOAT, Emelianenko versus Chael Sonnen. If there's a millionaire out there that wants to donate tickets, it's 2 weeks away. Holler at me. We running out of time. But Fedor versus Chael is going to be a great fight. I'm going to be extremely excited to see if it goes to the floor, if they keep it standing, or if Fedor can keep it standing, or if Fedor just wants to go to the floor. I can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait. Those two those two back-to-back cards that they got going on that right there are fire, man. Bellator is literally lit on fire right now. And UFC just made fucking Valentina Shevchenko and Ciara Eubanks a main event over Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier. That's how the tides are going right now, guys. At the time. Speaking of time, that's all we got for today. The barbecue pit. We might do a pre-show for Saturday before the fights just to see what's going on. Any weight cut issues, weigh-in issues the day before we can talk about. And if anybody, of course, God forbid, gets dropped out of the fight, we would hate to see it, but I guess we would talk about it in the pre-show. If nothing really happens, nothing significant happens, everybody makes weight, nothing crazy happens with the stay downs or anything like that, then we'll probably just proceed and have a post-fight show on Tuesday. But for right now, peace out, freak bitches. Adam Sandler, shout out. Robin Black, who was on the mic talking to Chael Sonnen for the Bellator 206 shit. Shout out to Robin Black doing huge things. Evil Eddie, my boy Pure Evil MMA, doing huge things. Craig Allen, Fight Night Picks, of course. I got mad people on here, yeah. Now you're going to make me go to the phones. See, that's why. If somebody actually pays attention and watches my show all the way through, they actually get to the end of the video, and they might get shouted out because I shout out a lot of cool people that are on Twitter. Bradley Van Devetter at Bradley Levan Elvan on Twitter. That's the guy I was talking to about the Felice Herrig fight. Kobe's Corner. Always cool to talk to you, man. He likes Khabib. He don't think Conor's got a chance. I kind of agree a little bit. Always like his opinions. The NBA channel now, man. Fucks with the NBA. The NBA is coming back. Preseason basketball right now. Regular season's going to be coming up. Let's see who else we got. Oh, it's Craig Allen. Craig Allen's my boy, yeah. That dude's mad cool. It's always the those what do you call them? The Canadian guys that are always the coolest guys, man. Dave Madden, North Carolina MMA. I think he thought I was trying to fucking talk to him. But I was just shouting some shit out, man. I watch your videos, man. Your shit's mad cool. You got cool picks, you know. We don't always agree all the time, but I mean, who the fuck does? You know. I think you got a good concept on why you pick certain things. So, you know, cool guy, Dave Madden. Give him a follow. North Carolina MMA. Who else we got? Bobby Riz, the RZA, Jojo Gannetti. He grinding. He's got another fight in Cage Warriors. He should definitely be in the UFC right now. Everything that's going on, man. Why he would get cut from the UFC is a little crazy to me, but it happened. That's all. Shout out to the originals, the OGs, Joey Diaz, Uncle Joey, Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Fat Ass Bert Kreischer, Brendan Schaub, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia, what the fuck is up? Theo Von. Theo Von's mad cool, man. It's one of the first guys that was like big to follow me on Twitter. You know, real. I ain't never talked to him, but seems like a real humble guy. Real cool guy, Theo Von. Always got to shout out Theo Von. And then shout out to Andy Wexler, man, I guess. And that's all I got. I'm going to holler at you guys. Say.